Welcome everyone to a casted game for Age of Empires 4, and today spawning in the southeast corner of the map, playing in red, we have got Whammo1 playing as the Jushi Legacy, and his opponent in the northwest playing in blue, we've got Kiljardi playing as the Ottomans. Welcome everyone to Dry Arabia. Looking forward to this one, that is for sure, with two great players battling it out on Dry Arabia, two great civilizations in the Ottomans and the Jushi Legacy. What more could you ask for? We've got it today. It's going to be a banger. I hope you guys are having a great morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. And hopefully, if you're not having such a great day, hopefully your day will get a bit better with some good Age of Empires 4 action. So, to introduce the civilizations, we've got the Jushi Legacy, which have been known for a while as a very strong civilization in terms of economy. So they had taken a bit of a knock in terms of the Song Dynasty benefits, but it's definitely still a very strong civilization. I have a couple of ways to play them as well, with the Tang Dynasty offering a cheaper tech up to the next stage. You can sometimes go for a cheeky one town center to the castle age pretty quickly. And you don't need the Song Dynasty for the Chukunu rush or spam or production of those units to head on in. So could be a possible option for the Jushi Legacy. Going up against the Ottomans though, they're going to be packing a punch nice and early with an early military score. And the Ottomans certainly have had a couple of changes recently. Of course, having the ability now to get to more than just a feudal age push. It feels like they actually have a decent castle age in them. More importantly, if it does get to the super late game into the Imperial Age rather, the Bombards, well, get them into a group in a bunch. It's hard to stop, and of course they can get some of them free from the Mehmed Imperial Armory. Question is, how will Kiljardi play this out? The Jushi Legacy, lots of resources up their sleeves to play around with. Got the nice back gold, which is definitely going to come in handy if he does look to go to the castle age at some point. Now, actually, considering the base layout, that is a very nice gold indeed. Like, a lot of the other resources are far forward, which is not ideal, but back berries, back gold, food and gold in the early game, not too shabby at all. And it's going to go for meditation gardens in that position to get some free passive food, stone, and wood. The Ottomans with a decent number of villages on gold. I've got to say 4 villages, and that could be a very fast tech up. Question is, will he move villages away from gold? And that's exactly what's happening. Going to keep 3 for now. I'm going to go up to the next stage with the twin minaret madrasa. No real surprises there, of course. It's a strong landmark to get to the feudal age. Very typical for them to do so. And it's taking full advantage of it. Understandably so. Why wouldn't you? He's got it rocking and rolling, and twin minaret madrasa is going to give a bit of extra food, of course. Passively generated, and it's going to be a very nice bonus. Of course, berries are gathered a bit faster for the Ottomans as well, and well, at least from the twin minaret madrasa. Not as a standard, it's not an Abbasid dynasty or a Delhi Sultanate or Ayyubids, but it's definitely a civilization that takes advantage of this landmark and the berry food coming on in, and the spearmen heading out. That's likely to be the second spearman, by the way. I wonder whether he's actually going to be using the spearmen to push in deer camp. Sometimes we do see that. It's kind of funny to see, but doesn't seem to be the case at the moment. The forward meditation gardens could actually attract a lot of aggression. So interesting placement for that. Because of course the Ottomans, there's something they tend to do. You know, get a couple of units and it's actually going to kill his enemies' deers. It's going to poke them away and, oh wow, take a look at that. Really pushing them out and making sure there's no efficient gathering of that. Which is unfortunate, but it's well, you got to do what you got to do. And Kiljardi and the Ottomans playing a bit cheekily there. Now, of course, the Tang Dynasty meant that the Jushi Legacy got to the next stage significantly quicker than their opponents. Going to still chipping away at building up that twin minaret madrasa. Now, I would like to say a very big thank you for everyone who's been joining on live streams on Twitch and on YouTube. The support is super, super appreciated. With a scout going around the right side, well, Kiljardi will know that there's a back gold, and he'll spot the outpost as well. And more importantly, he's probably keeping a keen eye on how many villages on gold. And it looks like it's actually going to be 5 of them. It is going to be a fast castle build. We talked about this potential for the Jushi Legacy. It's always an option. And just to give you guys a heads up, I am streaming on Twitch and on YouTube. So I'm actually streaming on YouTube these days. I'll be uploading the very best VODs of the best casted games on my main YouTube channel for Age of Empires 4. But I'll be live streaming on a separate channel specifically for live streaming on YouTube. So I've got that dual Twitch and YouTube setup. Now you might be wondering, why am I doing that? Why am I not streaming on my main Age of Empires 4 account on YouTube. And the reason is simple. You guys are probably subscribed for the VODs, the VODs on demand. And I don't want to dilute things. I want it to be that you guys are subscribed for something very specific. And if you did just want to see me live stream anyway, then you could always pop to the new channel. But I wanted to keep things consistent, and it's been a while that I've kept a standard that I'll only upload the very best games that I've casted on the main YouTube channel, so that you guys know that when you click on something, then you know, you get the very best games. But as it transpires, not every game I cast is going to be epic, so you know, I wouldn't upload every single game, and that's where the live stream comes in. And so if you guys want the extra bit of content, you want to watch me live, watch the games live, interact in chat, which is absolutely fantastic to have, you can always jump in on the live stream YouTube channel. I'll leave a link in the video description where you can find that, and you guys probably know by now where I am on Twitch. Hope you guys are all doing really well, and looking forward to seeing you guys both on the YouTube side of things now as well. How's it going, Portuguese? How's it going, Qui-Gon Joel? Hope you're doing well. Oh, yeah, as we said, the meditation guns being forward is always going to attract danger, but you know, the cast stage timing is so good here. Holy smokes, almost, it's going to be 7 minutes. And I mean, granted, he doesn't really have any production out of this, but he can actually produce some of the Shaolin monks. They can actually fight themselves, to be fair, and that's exactly what he's going to do. He's going to go for the Shaolin monks and push the spearmen away, and they are no joke, actually. They can do pretty well. Not too shabby at all. Kiljardi going to match it up and go to the castle stage himself, but it's just always a little bit behind, right, because of the Tang Dynasty. And the crazy thing about this, actually, is that the Shaolin monks can fight, but they can also obviously get the relics. Mehmed Imperial Army with 15 villagers. You can see Kiljardi. He wants to get there quick time. I don't blame him. Getting the tax collection as well whilst he's at it. But it's actually kind of a crazy unit, the fact that they can fight so well, and he's already moving out. Which Kiljardi's getting ready, though. He did actually use a Vizier point to get 2 Imams out, going to the field to pick up some of the relics as much as he can. But the issue is that the Shaolin monks can fight, whereas the Imams can't. So take a look at this. Gonna be a bit of action here. Yeah, he has to actually back away, because that's the crazy thing about it. I mean, he's going to try and... I don't think he can Wololo, but he's going to try and... Yeah, I mean, it's not really going to work, but he's going to lose the Imam anyway, so might as well try and drag it a few steps. But Sipahi are out now for Kiljardi. Of course, he did have the military school, and he is dropping down a stable as well. Going to be getting a Mangonel, you know, working on the way. He'll come out sooner or later. And the crazy thing about the Shaolin monk is it actually heals itself, so it's such a kind of cool unit in that regard. Going to try and snap out the Imam if he can. Battle for the relics down on the south. Yeah, the sheep is kind of running out, so going to the berries somewhat. But now with the meditation gardens kind of fully operational, getting a decent amount of food, wood and stone per minute. And that stone is really handy actually, because if it doesn't fund a second town centre, well, it's going to fund keeps eventually. Or at least help them go on the way. And the scout pretty weak, and the Imam did go down in the end, and the Shaolin monk, of course, picking up the relic. Going to be heading on home. 3 spearmen just protecting the relic closer to home, but this is a really good pick-off, because, I mean, ultimately this is going to be a delayment tactic, right? I don't think really Kiljardi is going to end up with this relic, right? Unlikely to. Well, I haven't said that with the Lancers on the field. We're going to have that mobility. Oh, the Shaolin monk might get involved here. Does get involved. Now, there's only going to be one winner, but ultimately Kiljardi wants to try and ride through and just ignore that and go for the Shaolin monk with the relic. Charge comes in, tries to get Wololo. Oh my god, he's not going to commit. Oh god, it's going to be close. Oh, he just about gets out of there. I mean, to be fair, wasn't as close as I thought it was going to be, but yeah, still, you do love a good Wololo action. And I mean, look at this. The Shaolin monk actually fighting off 3 spearmen. I think the Shaolin monk wins this. It's kind of crazy when you think about it, right? Stats-wise, really good 15 melee damage coming out of there. Yeah, attack speed is nothing to be upset about. It's definitely a good one if you're the Jushi Legacy. Could try and Wololo here, and I think the timer's on, right? He's got the it's got the cooldown. He's chasing though. It's kind of funny. Where's he going with the Shaolin monk? Wait, they can't attack and carry the relic, right? I'm pretty sure they can't. I'm sure someone in the comment section will... Oh, he can! Holy smokes, I wasn't anticipating that. Actually, did you guys know that? That's kind of crazy. Let me know in the comment section below if you knew about that. And on Twitch. I didn't know that. That's kind of bonkers. The fact they can carry relics and attack? Holy moly. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Is that what I think it is? Is that really what I think it is from WAM? Surely. Wow. Okay. It's going to go for the Mount New Academy as well. That's, wasn't anticipated, gotta say. Is it just me or did the music go away? The music just disappeared. What is going with Age of Empires 4? That's weird. Hopefully it'll come back at some point. Lancers diving on in villages though on the deer camp. There is an outpost, but only 5 garrison spots. He does lose one. The music came back in the end. That was weird. But it is what it is. And a couple of lancers popping out for Wham as well. Lancers versus lancers. Yeah, Portuguese mentions in chat, I was blown away by the fact that they can heal while holding relics. Yeah, it's kind of crazy as well, actually. Which kind of makes sense, I guess. If they can heal, I suppose they could probably attack and whilst they're holding the relics. Kind of bonkers. Strong unit, as we can see. That's so many relics. He's got 3, 4, in fact. Now, the Ottomans do snag 1, which better than none, of course. But that's a really good haul there for Wham, I gotta say, as the Jushi legacy. And the fast castle play here, we've known it as the bald build. The bald man build, because of course the Shadow monks are indeed bald. Ooh. Oh, lolo. He won't get it in the end, but he's pushing the lancers away and does pick up another relic now inside the pagoda. Religious building for the Jushi legacy, and generates 50 gold, 25 food and wood and stone every 30 seconds. So some good passive generation of income from the relics. Double outpost on the southern berries just to make sure it gets the food income in, and does have the Yuan dynasty in play now. He opted for the Mount Lu Academy, giving him access to 4 special techs that he could choose from. Imperial officials moving 50% fast. Oh, let's take a look at the lancers running in. It should get another villager out of that. It does with the charge. On that thought, 50% movement on the Imperial officials. I think this should be, I mean, to be fair, actually, Kiljardi has a decent amount here. He's not going to take the fight, does lose 1 lancer on the exit. And the other techs, supervision by Imperial officials improved from 150% to 300. Not too shabby at all. I think that's a really popular one. We've also got Military Affairs Bureau. Imperial officials can now supervise keeps and outposts to reduce the damage taken by 35%. Haven't seen that all that much, but it could be an interesting one if you're under siege. Speaking of siege, there is a Mangonel popping out for Kiljardi, a free one. Charges on the Shaolin monk, but doesn't quite commit to that. Wants to try and defend the Mangonel. I don't think it's going to be able to defend it in the end, and Lancers do take care of it. Do now also have the Imperial Red Seals. Imperial official limit increased by +2. It also gives you an Imperial official for free once you do get the research. But this is a good bit amount of damage coming in for Kiljardi, gotta say. Getting some units, villagers being idled, and this is a really nice play. He's going to lose a couple of the Lancers. They're pretty weak. Sabahi going to dive as well, and there's a 1 Lancer retreating on 3 HP. It actually survives that in the end. The spring order placement went on the other one. If we can heal it up, that'd be pretty useful. Looking to get the Sacred Site down in the south. The extra bit of gold, and speaking of gold, there's a lot of gold coming on in. In fact, let's change over to the income per minute. It's pretty similar in terms of gold income, despite the 4 relics from the Jushi legacy. I wonder where we go from here. Gonna go for the berries. That's what Wham's up to. Gonna get an outpost first, but with another Mangonel on the field, it does force in some ways the Jushi legacy into some sort of anti-siege, but he's been doing fine so far with the Lancers. Picked off the Mangonel earlier. The aggression working pretty well for the Ottomans. And I think this play style actually suits Kiljardi and the Ottomans because, of course, if there's something that the Ottomans do well, it's aggression, right? In fact, he does have 4 military schools. With the barracks, blacksmith rather, being built, that's going to increase the production speed of that. But yeah, it looks like this is definitely going to be a source of pain for Wham. Might lose 5 villages, and I think he should be fine here. Lancers charging in, coming into the rescue for Wham. Although I think if he turns around and fights that, might do a decent job against it. Kiljardi decides not to in the end. Because, to be fair, some of those Lancers are a little bit weak there, especially that one. 3 HP, still alive though. Going for the deer camp. And I guess the little bit of poking and prodding away at the deer further away. A little bit of laming here worked pretty well for Kiljardi in the end. At least he's got wheelbarrow Wham. That'll help somewhat. Mangonel popping forward and actually going to opt for a second town centre here, the Ottomans. Going to scale villager production. I'm not so sure about this one because it's kind of an awkward situation, right? It feels like the Ottomans, their strength really is in unit numbers and how quickly they pump out, especially with the free units. I guess in a way, the way he's playing this is that it allows him, the free units allows him that space to do this. It allows him a bit of ability to soak up pressure, get a second town center behind this and escalate villager production. What it does mean is that he'll be able to produce less of his own accord, because of course the food income that's needed for the second town center is obviously had to pump in a bit of resources into that. So maybe Wham, if he can hold this and push back, that would be ideal. It's got a lot of spearmen, so as long as he can narrow the angles of approach and attack for the Ottomans, he might actually corner him to a fight that he doesn't want to take. Maybe what Wham needs now is a keep. We'll see if he can manage to do that. Going for the food on Bora as well, in a very exposed area, I gotta say. There's gonna be plenty of food coming in. Added in a couple of Janissaries as well, the Ottomans. Makes cavalry a tricky option for the Jushi legacy. Not that he's opting to do so any further. He's got a couple of lancers, but really committing now to the archery ranges and barracks. So possibly crossbow palace guard, spearman palace guard, that kind of army composition, and moving the relics around into pagodas. He wants extra free resources coming on in. Mangonel is deployed. Janissary is looking to protect it and surround it, making sure the infantry can't get around it from the Jushi legacy. A couple of lancers just poking and prodding, using the torch as well. A couple of lancers coming around the west side for the Jushi legacy, but is it engaging here? I'm not so sure about the Ottomans. I mean, sure, he might potentially win this fight overall, but it's going to take some heavy losses from those spearmen. In fact, he will push this back quite heavily. I think Janissary is actually really helping him out. And look at the lancers from the west side. They're coming on in, but can't really engage with the number of Janissaries there. It's not a fight he can take. But he's camping now, and the big problem for Wham is his production that's forward is going to be under siege and taken out. And the trouble for Wham is that his wood line is here, really struggling for the production buildings. He's going to have to replace them. Second town center coming out now for Wham as well. It's not often you can say this, but the Ottomans probably have a slightly better economy, considering the villager count. Although the relics definitely and the pagodas definitely have something to say about that, but that's not a really good fight there at all for Kiljardi. Those spearman numbers really built up to a good significant amount. Has a springboard as well. The anti-siege is there for Wham, taking the fight, and well, the range units are being pushed away as we speak. The spearman numbers just overwhelming a little bit and gap closing the Janissaries. They're having to retreat. Does have an imam to heal on up on the retreat, but he's got to get out of there, Kiljardi. He's trying his best to do that. Janissaries take a shot, and he's slowly being pushed back. But Wham won't want to overextend himself. He's going to head back for now. Does have the potential to get all three sacred sites, actually. Just the one in the south was decapped. How's it going, Arrogant? Hope you're doing well in chat. Any plans to cast some of the Devils 2v2 tourney? I wasn't really considering it, but I mean, is there still some games left uncasted? I probably would, actually. I need to keep up. So I've actually been out of the loop a little bit. I've been doing some other games like Manor Lords and whatnot. So to be fair, I'm only just getting back into Age of Empires, so I'll probably have a look at that, because that could be a cool thing to do. 2v2 games is something that we don't often see, or at least I don't often cast, so it could be a bit of a breath of fresh air. Could be something actually I look to do. I might have a little bit of a gander on that, and have a look at what kind of games were being played. Probably not today, but certainly have a look, and maybe in the next couple of days I'll have a cheeky peeky. A couple of archers coming out, going for the veterancy upgrade as well. Nest of bees is always a threat, and always a concern, but I feel like maybe Kiljardi is he's happy to fight up against that. Going around the right side, and yeah, the exposed area with the boar does have the outpost they're protecting with a springboard replacement too. It's going to take a bit of HP off of those lancers. No emplacements inside these outposts, so could just freely roam through and maybe get round to the back gold. It's going to try and get some palisades up, slowly making it work with the villagers. Protect that part of the economy back there. Going to torch down the outpost, just keeping them active behind all of this. I wonder whether there's going to be a look to go towards the Imperial Age. Is a bit behind on gold, really, though, to be fair. The Ottomans. Going to be the Jiangnang Tower for the Jushi Legacy, opting for the Song Dynasty, and this is where, you know, farming transition could come into play. We're heading to that sort of 20-minute mark, which actually, to be fair, farms might already be out. In fact, actually, looks like Jushi Legacy have been able to do wonders with staving off the farming transition for now. But take a look at the Ottoman situation. He's losing a couple of lancers there for free. It's unfortunate. Yeah, perhaps he's starting to have the farming transition as we speak. There it is. Round the back. They're kind of trapped in a way. Might try and go for the villagers on the wood line. We need to do something. Nesta Bees getting really good fire off. I mean, to be fair, those Nesta Bees did a lot of damage. Kind of surprised how much damage they did. There's only 2 of them. Gonna go around on the farming transition around the back. So he recognizes that's a situation. Not that Kiljardi can really do too much about it, because he's got a farming transition he has to go for himself. But now could be a good time to attack if he really pushes through. He's got a lot of military on the field. Now could be a good time to push. Looks like Kiljardi just biding his time for now. Maybe looking for that sweet spot of the population cap and then pushing out. Now did cap that sacred site down the south, but the Imam quickly taken apart by the crossbows. Sacred site in the northeast has been decapped. And he's certainly looking to get even more walls, just to condense things a little bit. Granted, Kiljardi with his cavalry has been roaming around pretty freely. And of course, the Jushi legacy predominantly relying on mostly infantry. Means, as we talked about earlier, just having to try and narrow down the approaches for the Ottomans, the angles of attack. And he's doing it with the palisades. Will gets a charge on a couple of villagers. Might get 2, no, just gets the 1 for now and has to back away. The spearmen getting involved. And they continue the chase. Oh, he doesn't actually get the kill down the villager. It's unfortunate. 3 HPO left on that guy, and yeah, Lancer bites the dust. Don't think these Lancers are going to achieve all that much more. Unless they go long around and might be able to try and snipe this one farmer potentially. We'll have to see. Mangonel numbers starting to build up, which is actually really good for the Ottomans. Going up against mass infantry like that, Mangonels is definitely what you want. And there is the Istanbul Observatory. Now, what's something kind of concerning is that, well, that's a lot of resources being pumped in, and the question is whether he has a significant standing army. Doesn't really have the static defenses buying him time, so it's going to be either... Oh, hello, what's going on here? Wham, going for the gold on the north side. There's 8,000 gold vein, and I like that play for a keep. That could be great because he's got like good control. I mean, I got to say this gold is kind of in the middle. This one really not so much, and he's going to get control of it with the keep if he can get it up. And I mean, ultimately the army is not that close by. And considering the villagers do build fast, he's going to get an outpost first just in case, a fallback location. But there is the Imperial Age tech up. I wonder now whether Wham decides to try and punish that, go forward with his army. Looks like he's almost doing that. It's a lot of siege. Now, don't let it fool you, the military count number, 37 to 76, but there is an additional 33 from siege for Wham. Yeah, there's no way to deny this. They're trying to get an outpost, but ultimately that keep will go up, and that's going to deny a lot of gold for the Ottomans. He's going to have to fight for the middle, which is probably exactly where the Jushi legacy will send their army. It's a good control of gold spots. The army's heading there now, but it's too little, too late. I mean, he maybe tries to take this down before upgrades like boiling oil comes in, but it's questionable if he can achieve that. There's 12 villages there. Mangonels, why is he not? I mean, he could engage it, no? He possibly could just make a dash down the middle, I guess, but could you see a Jushi Mangonel shot? Do we see it? Oh, he gets a massive shot on that, but he doesn't curiously kill any of the villagers. That's kind of crazy. He didn't kill a single villager with that. I mean, sure, they're all very low health, but hey, a villager on 1 HP is just as effective as a villager on, you know, whatever HP the full maximum HP is, 75. As long as they're gathering resources. Here comes a great bombard. This is something that's always a bit scary going up against that as the Ottomans. And wham. Got predominantly infantry. The siege is going to be key, right? It's got a lot of spring ord, so one great bombard won't be enough, really. Even with siege crews. Siege crews are a really lovely upgrade. It's actually getting the attack speed bonus, but also, oh, maybe, yeah, he does have siege crews. He's got a unit garrison inside, so that's going to increase the, or decrease the time it takes to pack and unpack. and get that shot off on the mangonels. And the Great Bombard Light is heading forward with a lot of units. Some cavalry leading line as the Sipahi. Some Janissaries just behind it. Veteran archers behind them, and crossbows too. A little bit of everything. About to start seeing the big engagement. He knows about the mangonels. Mangonels need to think about focus firing on the spearman. Spearman diving on it. Does lose the one springald that he had. That's a lot of siege coming in for the Jushi legacy. They're pushing forward, and I think, yeah, the Ottomans backing away, understandably so. The siege superiority certainly coming in there for a while. Getting hold of the gold in the middle are the Ottomans. Well, yeah, I'm just going to get a keep. That's definitely going to solidify that position, but would want to try and take this out. And could be in a good spot to do so, actually, because ultimately, for Juan to reinforce this area, he has to kind of go a very long way around. And it's not easy. Both players in the Imperial Age. Elite army tactics coming in for the infantry. Can increase the health of all melee infantry by 20% and the damage as well by 20%. Not too shabby at all. Great Bombard working on that. Looking to get the Sacred Site under control with the keep and break through the palisades and go around the west side direction. Great Bombard will make relatively easy work of this. Take a look at that. Probably maybe 6 shots. I wonder actually how many shots it takes to fully take down a keep. Some flames as well. Well, that's a lot of villages going down the west side. All the Ottomans, they're struggling on gold because of that. Yeesh. That's a lot of villages having to back away. A lot of them died in the meantime. Temple of the Sun coming up for the Jushi legacy. Really maximizing the dynasty system. And the keep gets taken down. Oh, village going in the north. I mean, wham, he's just pumping up keeps everywhere that he can to get security of gold, and why not? He's causing untold disruption. Just walking in with spearmen, walking in with infantry. That's actually a problem that actually the Ottomans are struggling to deal with. He's got units out, but not necessarily where he wants them. In fact, where are they? They're heading back now to deal with this raid. Keep slowly being taken down for Wham, but I mean, whether it's worth it or not, there's a lot of resources going into that keep, but it has idled the golden mining for quite some time. At least in that location. He's getting gold in the middle though. Oh god, a lot of villages going down here for Kiljardi. This is not ideal. 27 villages idle as well. There's a lot of the economy, both dying and being idled. But a couple of units being peppered by the ranged units. And spearmen diving on in. They can take the engagement. This is the man-at-arms that we're always fearsome or fearful of from the Ottomans. And he's going to rip through that in a heartbeat. I mean, to be fair, Shaolin monks are doing some work, but taking out a lot of the front line. But the back line there for the Ottomans will eventually take care of that and clear it all out. Nothing else. Dealing with all the villagers. Although, some of them actually escaped through to the north. Going to get some wood if they can. Just keeping them active and mining whatever resource they can. But look at that farming transition there for the Jushi legacy. Looking good. Can't fault it. We're heading now sort of much kind of to the late game. The thing that's concerning for the Ottomans is the bank of resources. It's not all that much in terms of food. And that's kind of concerning. When you get to the late game, food is pretty important resource for sure. Sacred Site threatening to be captured, but not for long, because that bombard moving forward. Gonna start getting some hits on the keep. Takes out a good 770 HP off that one shot. Kind of crazy actually when you think about it. He's about to engage. The Nest of Bees gets a good fire off, but kind of hits most of its targets. Did get a couple of Sipahi. Sipahi trying to get a wrap around the south, but Spearmen on guard. They can take care of that easily. And all that remains in the north are Janissaries and infantry, which the Nest of Bees won't mind at all. He does have a bombard of his own here, Wham. Looking to put some pressure, siege-wise, to take the keep in the middle, which could be pretty big. To deny the gold once again. But he's got to get there first, and look at that food income, 3,000 food per minute. I mean, the longer the game's on, with that kind of income, Jushi Legacy should be in a great spot. Oh, Janissary's walking into it really with the Nesta Bees. Another great Nesta Bee shot. Zibai coming in from the west side. They're trying to snap out the bomb. I can't quite manage it, but the Nesta Bees doing untold... Oh my god. Doing all untold damage. Spearman for Wham, clearing up the rest, and Janissaries get absolutely melted by the Nesta Bees. Oof, that was a fight and a half, and Wham taking that fight in a big way, and that's a problem. 22 military is what's left behind for the Ottomans. Maybe got a little bit impatient, didn't necessarily need to fight in that, and I mean, look at the dead bodies there. And all over the shop. I guess he felt like he needed to keep the keep position, right? He wanted to get the gold, and felt like he couldn't give that away, but he gave the army away. And now he's on the back foot in a big... Oh, no. If he loses the mangonels, that's a big kick in the teeth. And I think he might just... There's no way to protect that, really. Oh, no. It goes from bad to worse. Kiljardi in a blink of an eye. Wham, moving on the west side with the spearmen, with the bald man. The Shaolin monk's going to raid heavily. And things are going to go from bad to worse, potentially, here. The spy tried to dive on the siege, but Nesta B numbers still looking pretty healthy. Go for the west side location, still villagers on gold there, and that's going to be pressurized somewhat. Zabai coming home to defend. Going up, we get spearmen, so they'll trade relatively well. Does have a bombard, and also the town side garrison inside. So the raid won't last for that much longer, but ultimately, he's done a lot of damage killing that army earlier on, and that's going to be a hard position to recover from, right? A lot of farms being idled. For Kiljardi, food is already a problem, and only getting 700, 800 odd per minute, it's not going to be enough to sustain an Imperial Age army. I'm coming in with another forward keep. Gold, this is what he wants. He needs the resources, anything he can get, really, at this point. And look at the army. It doesn't seem like a lot, but it is because of the siege. A 43 or 40 military count. Doesn't tell the full picture, doesn't include the siege. You've got the siege next to it, plus 36, now plus 33. Talking about siege, that's 4 great bombards. I mean, he needs to keep them protected, though. That's the issue. It's all well and good having great bombards. You've got to keep... Oh my god, Kiljardi. He's not noticing. He's not reacting it either. Oh no, he's going to lose a lot of villagers on that gold vein. God, those guys are all god. Oh, Nesta B is going to finish things off on the mining camp. I thought they were going to go for the villagers. Either way, villagers do die. And Kiljardi down to 77. That's massive. And he's not got really much gold incoming. And the gold situation going from bad to worse. Will that keep going up? Look at the trickling in of the Jushi legacy units in red. Spearman, everything he needs he's got coming. There's a bit of gold there, but that's going to run out pretty soon, and it's being raided back at home. Spy take care of that, but I'm not so sure he's going to be able to take out this push coming in. Does lose another great bombard. 4 remain. But with that number of springalds, I mean, it should be enough to one-shot, maybe. We'll have to see either way. Wham, with a great economy behind this. It's going to do wonders. Nesta Bees fires off on the Janissaries, and they get, you know, they kind of melted to those, didn't they? Well, I'm pushing on in the right, but there it is, ladies and gentlemen. Kiljardi just lost way too many villagers, lost way too much momentum, and the Jushi legacy taking a great fight in the middle. Wham! Taking the victory on Dry Arabia. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Take care, and see you next time.